We've been talking West Ham after their 1-0 defeat against Everton leaves David Moyes' men in the bottom three heading into this pivotal international break. Let's speak to Nathan, the West Ham fan. Nathan, I believe you were at the game. What went wrong for your team?
What's gone wrong for the last 6 weeks? If you look at the last 14 fixtures, we've won 2 games. One of the goals against Villa was a deflected goal and the other was a 4-0 loss against 4-0 win against Norwich. Apart from that, I mean, I really think something's wrong backwards from no Moyes has lost Pearce. Has he lost the dressing room because Noble's gone? I just don't know. Why bring in all these players? Jared Bowen has been absolutely terrible. Fantastic for the last 2 years, but he's been so bad in the last few weeks. Yet he still plays 90 minutes every week. We've got Cornet and Scamacca who are scoring in European, but he's not giving them the chance in the Premier League. Well, rightly what you said earlier, Antonio needs some help. He'll never play 2 up front. So is he the man for the job to push us forward? Who knows?
You see, obviously, you've come 6th, you've come 7th. The Europa run was fantastic for West Ham, and it was brilliant to see it. Do you think this is a distraction being in the Europa Conference, as opposed to when you was in the Europa, it was a great experience?
See, to me, it's the same, really. You're still playing twice a week. What's the difference? You know, I'm not being funny. If you get paid 30, 40, 50 grand a week, and some of them are on double that, they should be running. There's no energy. There's like 2 or 3 players out there today who basically earned that shirt. No one else. Like, Bowen has been absolutely terrible. And I used to sing David Moyes is Clout and Blue Army, and David Moyes knows exactly what we need. But he obviously doesn't, because it's not ticking. How we know as West Ham fans, he's not going to make a sub until the 62 minute mark, at least. What if you're losing or not playing well at half time? Why don't you make them subs at half time?
So, Nathan, you saying it's not form, it's not like what you're doing on the pitch. It's their work rate, their effort that they're not putting in.
You got no. I don't understand how you get paid that much money. If you play, I'd go and play for free and run my off all week.
Well dodged.
Yeah, self-censoring there.
I like that one.
Nathan, thanks very much for calling the boot. And let's bring in Will, the West Ham fan. It says on my screen, Will, that David Moyes should leave now. You feel that strongly?
I think his time's up. Because as much as I like him, and he has done wonders for this club, he has, what this last gentleman said, he has lost the dressing room.
But has he not got time in the bank, though, Will?
Yeah,
I know you're saying
Will,
that.
I was going to jump in and say the same thing. Don't he have time for what he's done? I mean, and when I say a blip, so and I think this is all supporters. Don't you think he deserves to show that he's a good manager by when things ain't going to plan, he can turn it around?
But this has been going on, and it ain't just a blip. This you know, we've scraped through pretty much every game this season. We've got by the skin of our teeth. What we've won that in. Look at today, Soufal and Soucek might have not have turned up. Soufal was atrocious. It took Antonio. I thought Antonio had quite a good game. When he had that little run into the box, it was unlucky. But he needs to put Scamacca up front with Antonio. Antonio needs the help. He's a big lad. He's a goal scorer, but he's not being given the opportunities to score the goal. He needs a partner. He is the Hartson to Kitson. Okay, they need to start looking at West Ham of yesteryear.
Yeah. Good points made, Will. I think, listen, you invite pressure as a manager when you've spent a lot of money on a striker, and both of those West Ham fans have articulated it. There seems a reluctance not only to use Scamacca in the Premier League, but a reluctance even when they're losing to play Scamacca with Antonio.
Yeah.
Is that natural cautiousness
David
Moyes undoing?
Yeah, listen, he's got his fundamental way that he manages and sets up his team. I always feel that, not that you go for broke, but if you're losing, you know, sometimes attack's the best form of defence.
Yeah.
And listen, we can't talk for him and we can't understand it, but exactly that, when you can't understand why you're playing or not bringing on a striker that you bought to indeed the striker that you got on the pitch, and you just keep making like for like, so nothing's really going to change. I don't understand that. That's what I can't understand. But yeah, listen, I watched the game, and listen, anybody that knows I know Antonio well. And the same, I think you need to get him playing way more to his strengths, because when he plays to his strengths, he's problem. I remember the beginning of last season, top form in the Premier League. But listen, I guess we can't talk for Moyes. He just needs to be able to. The only thing is which I always struggle with is to get him out now.
Yeah,
that's the bit which I always struggle when. I just think the testament of a good manager is being able to turn things around when things ain't, especially when I feel like they've got heirs in the bank from what they've done.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, these are supporters that have watched their team way more than me, and especially they would have watched the game today and they're frustrated. They would have drove all the way up to Everton to watch the game. So listen, I understand that. I always just think that give a manager time to show that he's a good manager and change it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I want to pick up on a point that the first caller Nathan said as well about losing the dressing room. I don't think he's lost the dressing room. I think and Bayo will tell you, they've lost a huge character in Mark Noble in that dressing room. Someone who brings the coaching staff and the players together. Now, they need to replace that. They're trying to do it with Declan Rice, and I'm sure he's a huge character. We're made to believe that he is as well. But they should have somehow kept Mark Noble in and around that football club, for whether it's a coaching role. They probably tried even another year just to keep that bond, kind of teach Declan Rice another year to keep that bond together, because when you lose a huge character in the dressing room, and as he stated as well, Stuart Pearce left, those are big characters to replace.